The last story I want to read to you today is called Cozy by Jan Brett. She's our author and illustrator. Some of you may have read stories by Jan Brett before. I love her stories because they have the most detailed, beautiful pictures. I wasn't sure I was going to read any stories by Jan Brett this year because I thought it might be hard to show the pictures up close on the camera. She wrote a new book this year, though, and I had to read it to kids. Cozy by Jan Brett. I'll try to hold the pictures up close to the camera so you can see them. She has the best pictures in her books. Storms rolled over the tundra when Cozy the muskox was separated from his herd. He was used to being with his family. His mother and father had named him Cozy because his silky coat was so soft and thick. Cozy braced himself against the wind, and his thick coat warmed him like a blanket. In a tussock, a mother lemming's pups were squeaking loudly. "I'm cold, I'm cold, I'm cold." She used a triple carry to tunnel them toward a new spot where she saw a towering mountain of fur. In no time, the lemming family settled in next to Cozy's left hoof. "Shh," she whispered. "Quiet voices, and that muskox will never notice us." What do you think? Does Cozy notice them? Snowshoe Hare, feeling chilly, had the same idea. "Master Muskox," he asked politely, "may I wait out the storm under the protection of your very thick coat?" Cozy was happy for the company, and well aware that a lemming family had snuck in. He said, "Welcome, Snowshoe Hare, but mind those lemmings, quiet voices and gentle thumping only." Snow swirled and flump, suddenly all grew white. Was it a clump of snow that had hit Cozy on the forehead? No, it was feathers. When Cozy opened his eyes, he was looking into big yellow ones. The eyes belonged to a snowy owl, who also had a request. "Oh, magnificent Uminmak, would you be so kind as to give me shelter? The wind has tumbled me terribly." Cozy knew that snowy owls and lemmings and snowshoe hares were not always fast friends, but he agreed with some conditions. House rules are quiet voices, gentle thumping, claws to yourself. What animal do you think is going to find Cozy next? Do you see any clues in the pictures? Arctic Fox's nose was turning blue. Her bushy tail wasn't warm enough, and every time she wrapped it around herself, the wind unwrapped it. Thinking Cozy would make a good windbreak, she sidled up to him. "Do you mind, Mr. Muskox, if I unfreeze my nose in your thick fur?" Cozy was happy to welcome a new guest, but eyeing her sharp canines, he answered, "For the harmony of all, quiet voices, gentle thumping, claws to yourself, and no biting." Canines are teeth, right? He doesn't want the Arctic fox biting. What animal is coming next? What do you think? As winter went by, the storms grew worse. The wind blew and blew, and a low, humpy shape appeared, swaying and shuffling. Its coat was covered with ice balls. "Shaggy beast," it growled, "I fell into an ice floe and am chilled to the bone. Can you help me?" Cozy was happy to invite the Wolverine in, but added to the house rules. Quiet voices, gentle thumping, claws to yourself, no biting, and no pouncing. Yes, they get a new rule every time an animal comes. And that's a Wolverine. I wouldn't have guessed that. I didn't know what Wolverines looked like. Cozy's new friends cleaned their coats, preened their feathers, napped, and were glad for their comfy shelter. But then, above the wind, the animals heard yip, yip, yip. Who's coming? I bet you know who those are. A team of huskies, always on the lookout for a good thing, barreled into Cozy's big bulk, flinging the creatures in all directions. Their musher, a sea otter, looked on in dismay. "Hi," the lead dog grinned. "House rules. chorused the jostled lemming, snowshoe hare, snowy owl, Arctic fox, and wolverine. Quiet voices, gentle thumping, claws to yourself, no biting, no pouncing, and be mindful of others. Cozy, wary of the lead dog, who looked a lot like a wolf, shook his horns to make sure the huskies understood. As time went by, the wind calmed a little, and the Arctic sun climbed higher in the sky. The animals felt more at home every day. But Cozy had spring fever. I want to find my family. How can I move about with these visitors underfoot? The house rules were stretched every day. When was a nibble a bite? When was a hoot quiet or loud? There was bumping, making faces, and nobody was saying, I'm sorry. One sunny day, the lemmings were playing climb the ladder. A great chunk of Cozy's coat came off. Then another hank came off in Snowy Owl's talons. Cozy remembered this from last year. Shedding meant it was finally spring in Alaska. Hank by hank, all of Cozy's warm, silky winter coat drifted down the slope. Cozy's lodgers started heading to their spring homes. Cozy hadn't felt so free and breezy since he was a calf. He jumped, he gambled, and then, in the middle of a gleeful leap, he saw his herd. You see him? He ran to join his mother, his father, his sister, and his brother. Where were you? We were worried, said his sister, Fluffy. We missed you, said his brother, Snuggly. I made some new friends, Cozy told them, but it was nice to get back to muskox ways. They all formed a circle, babies in the middle, but Cozy felt curiously alone. Then the breeze carried squeaky and growly and whistling voices. See you next year, Cozy. Meet you when the snow flies, Cozy. The snowshoe hare thumped as they all called, we can't wait to get cozy with Cozy. The end. Isn't that a good story? And I love the pictures in it.